What's your name?
Delbert Gibson.
And when did you work at Clark Oil?
I started there in '63, and I retired, I believe, in a total of time, I think, is 95. I told you different there. But part of that time was I retired when I was 70. I retired when I was 80, I think, and then I did some consulting work. So I finally ended up in 96.
You were there for many years, and I bet you had a number of different jobs. Tell us some of the different jobs you had at Clark Oil.
Well, I came there for the purpose they were building a chemical plant. They had nobody in the company that had chemical experience, and I worked in chemicals all my life. So one of the people higher up in Clark Oil, Bob Brugink, asked me if I wanted to come to work with Clark. So I came to work with Clark.
And did you have the same position the entire time you were there, or did you have different jobs?
Yes, pretty much. At the beginning, I was an assistant and was training all the operators, how to, so that when the plant started up. So I was there while they were building the plant, and then, of course, retired.
Who were some of the people that were your co-workers, or who were your good friends at Clark?
Oh, most of the people there were good friends. I just see one fellow over there, Connie Ebley, he worked for me, and he was an excellent worker. One time they knew I watched the birds. So anytime that they saw anything unusual about birds, they called me. And so one day they said, "Hey, there's a hawk come down through this structure, and it's sitting here." So I'm in the chemical plant a block away. I walk over there. Here's this dejected hawk sitting there with a pigeon. So I walked back and I had a fish net, and I caught it. Actually, and then what it was a trained peregrine falcon. And it was waiting for the owner to come in and tell it what to do. But the owner couldn't get in there. They'd been out there hunting pheasants in an open field. So I took that to Sandridge Nature Center, and it was amazing. They'd have bells on it. They cut all that stuff off. But that bird, when it got in, they put it in a cage, and then it tore into that pigeon. It was a beautiful bird.
Was the bird ever reunited with its owner?
Yes, it was reunited with the owner.
Good.
But anyway, that was an unusual situation.
Delbert, what kind of a place was Clark to work at and for? Was it a good place, or?
It was a very good place to work. You could sit down. I've talked to Mr. Clark, Mr. Stackner, and I remember I had come in July. I'd just come to work. And Mr. Stackner came down. He had tickets for the All-Star game. Well, that was a Friday, and everybody had something to do. So they said, "Do you want to go?" So Mr. Stackner took us out to dinner. Then we went to the ball game. We had tickets on the 50-yard line, and then come back. We had the party on the way back. I always remember that. But that was the time that the All-Stars beat the professionals.
Delbert, it sounds like Mr. Clark was the owner. Who was Mr. Stackner?
He was a vice president. And I don't know exactly what he was in charge of the operation. He always come down. Mr. Clark came down to the plant just a very occasional. Mr. Stackner was there maybe every week.
So he sounded like he was a plant manager.
Well, he wasn't the plant manager. No, he was higher up than that.
Okay.
So anyway,
So Clark was a very good place to work.
Clark was a very good place to work. I was always pleased that I made the change.
And it sounds like you made many good friendships and relationships there.
They all the people there that you see here, I knew when they worked at Clark.